many times I gotta tell you I'm not that girl. If you want her, go get her. There's no way I'm begging you to stay. It don't work that way. Call me out upon the waters, the great unknown, where feet may fail. And there I find you in the mystery, in oceans deep. My faith will stay. Hey, hey, set me free. Stupid Cupid, stop picking on me. I can't do my own work and I can't think straight. I meet him every morning about half-past days. I'm acting like a lovesick fool. You even got me carrying books to school. Hey, hey, set me free. Stupid Cupid, stop picking
How are you?
on me.
Good, thank you. Yes.
Why don't you introduce yourself to everyone?
So yes, I am Lorraine. I'm a singer from Newcastle, obviously the accent. And yeah. Just
Do you know what? You know, you said, is it pronounced Lorraine?
Lorraine.
And I'm calling, I call you, I just think it's El Ray.
Everybody says Elvie. Well, I wasn't sure when I first was, because hence on my Instagram, like name, it's L''Ray.
Mm.
So that people would try and say Lorraine.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, it's Elvie. So many people, so don't worry about it, honestly.
El Ray. I love it. So obviously we got Lorraine out here. Amazing singer. I've heard your stuff. I've been a fan from day.
You are?
I've been a fan from day. I don't know how we connected. I don't know how we got to. Obviously, we've had each other on Instagram for a long time, but the first video was, well, I think it was somewhere inside that you done a live performance, and I was like, hold on, nah, this is like mind blowing. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, who is this girl?
Yeah.
And then after that, I've always been a fan. Like, I always hear your music. I always listen to it whenever you got new releases and stuff like that. Let's go into your Instagram later. Your pictures, they're like next level. But yeah, amazing. So I want to know, and obviously I want to tell the people how did you start? Let's start from the beginning. What made you get into singing?
I don't think it was something that from being young I knew that was definitely what I was going to do. I grew up singing in church, and then kind of as I got more, senior school and all that type of thing, it wasn't like a massive part of my life. It was just still something that I did, just when I had the time. And it wasn't until I was leaving school and I was deciding what I was going to do. And I had quite a bit of, I didn't really have the best time towards the end of my years in school. So it was kind of just a case of, I need to just do something that's not going to like overwhelm me and, just cause more, stress and things like that. So I was actually thinking of sixth form, and somebody said, Laura, what do you love? And I just said, singing. And then they said, well, why don't you just go and do your music? So I didn't go to sixth form in the end. I went to Newcastle College to study music, and then never looked back, really. Just started from there. It's just gone on.
Start of your journey.
Yeah.
Now that's amazing, because a lot of people obviously they get into singing later sometimes, or they just have a career change, but you knew from young age that this is what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
And you stuck by it. You stuck by your guns, because a lot of people give up sometimes, and it's hard. Don't get me wrong. It's hard right now in the industry, especially now with, lockdown and stuff, and people sometimes, they give up. But sometimes when you have that passion like yourself, I'm sure you're in your room every night or every few days just singing to yourself, and, how long does it take basically for you to write a song?
I think it depends, because if you know specifically there's something on your heart that you want to write a song about, and it's something that you've got to really think on and concentrate on and take time, I think it could take, I don't know, as long as really you needed it to before you felt it was right. But I think there's also sometimes, personally for me, where I could be going to sleep on a night and something will just come into my mind and I'm like, I need to write that down. Do you know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
the song just comes from that. But I think if it was something specific that I knew I wanted to write a song on, it would probably take obviously longer, because I'd need to think of, you know, specific things that I really wanted to get across in my music. But I think a lot of my songs so far, and you know, my 2 releases, have more so been, especially my last one, just something that came to my head one day and I just thought, let's just get it out there. So I think it just depends.
Yeah, I mean, I know, I mean, as I said, I've never done singing before or anything. I can't sing for shit. You know, I used to be, you know, as I said, I used to be a DJ back in the day, and I used to MC, yeah, which a lot of people don't. This was way before the film work and stuff, but singing is next level. Like, you gotta have you have to have the pipes for it and stuff, man. And you know, some people are gifted like yourself. But I know I have read, obviously, because I'm a massive fan of Tupac, yeah.
Yeah.
And I've obviously heard a lot about his past, his history, and I know when he was in prison, he used to say that anything that used to come to his head, he used to get a pen and paper, write it down. And it's not the whole song. It will be just like now and then he used to just write, you know, things that used to come to his head, he used to put it away, then he used to come back to it and stuff like that. So I can, you know, when you said that things come to your head and then you can just basically pen and paper.
Yeah, definitely.
And stuff. Cool. So have you, obviously, have you ever performed at, or actually, have you ever performed at massive, like, I don't know, events or anything, or do you want to in the future if you haven't?
I haven't, I wouldn't say massive events, no. I mean, I've performed at some places where, you know, there has probably been a lot of people there, but it wasn't like a massive venue or anything. In terms of the future, I would say straight first answer, probably yes. Obviously, I expect. But I don't know, I know we've spoken about it a little bit before. I think through this lockdown, you could say, it's probably through, you know, watching a lot of things. Everybody's been watching Netflix and things like that. And when I first went to college to study, I was debating whether to do performing arts or music, because I love musicals, things like that. But music was more my thing, let's just say. And in the future, I've said quite a few times now, I could see myself maybe being like, you know, in the films, musicals, things like that, more than I could imagine myself touring. Which sounds crazy when I'm trying to get into the singing and like that, because obviously, you know, festivals, things like that, amazing, right? Would love to. But in terms of, like, you know, you see singers touring the world, every single, you know, in all these countries, if I had that, or doing, I don't know, Mamma Mia, Dreamgirls, something like that, I would probably say I'd choose the film. Which is crazy, I know, but don't get me wrong, this is probably why I didn't choose performing arts, because I don't think I could do something live on the stage in acting. I could sing.
Of course, yeah.
You know, like in film, I would feel like I could. So it's kind of, if I was performing live, it would definitely just be me singing. Yeah. But yeah.
It's a shame, because obviously with all this happening now with COVID and lockdown and stuff, it's tough on the music industry and the film industry.
Yeah.
Venues, clubs, events, it's gone. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's going to be really hard now of when you think you can go on that stage and perform, even in a wedding. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like a wedding, or you know, because that's what musicians was all about. I know you lot can release songs and stuff, and you've got the internet, you've got YouTube and Apple Music and stuff, but that doing a live in front of a crowd and seeing their reaction is something else.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, and hopefully, as I said, we do get that again. But you know, it's a shame that it's all happening now, and that's why it's tough on you lot now. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But as I said, that's what we say. You've got to stay strong, stay positive, and we've got the platforms now. We've got the social media, we've got the Instagram, the Snapchat, the Twitter, we've got the Apple Music, Spotify. You know, and you've got the marketing thing where you can just put it out there.
Yeah.
So I know I've asked you before. So who would you ever want to collab with?
This is such a hard question.
That's a question you have to ask any singer or musician, because it's like, I know in your head you got someone you want to work with, or you would work, you know, make a track with.
My like taste in music, if you want to say, is just, I wouldn't say there's one specific genre that I always listen to. Like, I would go from grime to, I don't know, Machine Gun Kelly. Do you know what I mean? Like, different. But if we're talking UK and I had to pick three, I would probably say I love Dave.
Yeah.
Stormzy. But there's a bit more to just Stormzy's music for me. I know he's got, and I know obviously what's going on at the minute with the whole.
Yeah.
That's another story. But and then the third one.
Any American ones, or
in America? Oh,
name me one from America. Name me. You've done two. You've done two UK, so name me one US.
Oh well, that is a total. That's just.
I know it's gonna be hard.
Probably Post Malone.
It's a good choice. It's a good choice. I know I've said this before. I think you would suit a garage track. I would love to hear you in a garage track one day. You have, and you might have had a few, but it's something like with like Craig David or someone, where a female in a chorus is always fire. You know, I'm all about old school garage and stuff. They used to do that a lot back in the day. They don't do it as much now, but I just feel like when you have a bomb track and you have that female artist in it, just, you know, to put the chorus and stuff. I can imagine you and Craig David.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can just imagine you both like on the same vibe and stuff. So I think, because obviously I've heard your stuff and it's more obviously R&B, kind of slow, you know. Maybe you should do a garage track one day.
I'm here for it. And let's do it. Honestly, that's what I mean. Like, I think at the minute with my music, I've said, if anybody said, so what type of artist do you think you are if you had to pick a single? And right now I don't even know. Obviously, R&B side that I think I'll bring in some way, but like, just I think I could do, like, obviously I'm not going to give anything away for my next few tracks, but none of them I would say have been very, very similar. So it would be tough.
So any plans on albums, or are you just going to stick to singles?
I think at the minute I'm going to stick to singles. I was talking about maybe an EP, but right now I think I'm just going to be sticking with releasing some singles. I've got a few lined up, so. Yeah,
you probably got so many unreleased things already. Like, it's ready, isn't it? It's ready. And that's what every musician does. They're not going to put everything out at once. They have some, you know, you've already got like the next 5 or 10 singles ready, sorted for the next couple of months or whatever, you know. Amazing. And let's talk about your Instagram, and let's talk about your pictures, because you got amazing cover pictures and stuff.
You think?
Yeah, I think they're amazing because they look so, obviously they're professional. I just feel like they go, so example, like when you have these covers for your singles, they go with the song, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So is it you that thinks of that? Is it a photographer or is it both together?
I think for the two songs that I've already released, the first one was totally, I didn't really know what I was going to do for the cover because it was really, obviously it was my first release, my first proper photo shoot, things like that. And I was kind of, I was quite nervous, but like I said about, doing things like this, obviously I'm still a bit. But for the second single, so Young and Naive, I knew I obviously needed a car, and I knew I didn't just want, any car. Yeah, I wanted like, an old style type
Classic.
and yeah, I think I knew I wanted it. I pretty much, I would say I knew pretty much the idea for Young and Naive, but slow with it. I don't think there was anything.
How long does it take to do these pictures, like, or cover photos?
Again, I think that probably depends on what goes into it. Like with my first one, I just did one photo shoot and then we actually edited the photo in terms of size wise, like it didn't look like that. And then for Young and Naive, it was pretty much as it was. So
no, amazing. That's because obviously people, it's good to people know, because I have a lot of musicians and singers on my Instagram, and as I said, where everyone works differently, but it's anyone that's upcoming, it's good for them to know these things, and it's not easy work. Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, you haven't done a music videos, have you?
No.
And I have worked on them, and I'm not putting you off, but they're a headache.
Yeah, no, I know. Trust me. Yeah.
People seem to think that it's a 3-minute video, it takes a day. No, because okay, you can do it in a day, but then it's not going to come out how you want it to come out. You can't. Now, I work on film, so I know how long it takes to do a scene. A music video, it can take it could take a few days, it could take 1 or 2 weeks. But it's a lot of work, and it's not easy. But I cannot, like, honestly, I think your first music video will be amazing. I think.
Really.
And obviously, if you do shoot one, obviously you gotta get Mr. down there.
Oh, of course.
Have a little cameo.
I'm not. Of course,
No, amazing. So still speaking about Instagram, because this is like an important thing. Do you think, and let's be real here, do you think you get a lot of support on Instagram or you don't? Because I've spoken to a few people about different topics, their businesses or their films and their music, and they don't get that support that they want.
Yeah.
So example, like if you put out a single, you don't get that support as much as you think you would.
Yeah. I think, so obviously I've only got right now 2 released singles. On my first one, I was absolutely blown away. And I think it was obviously for quite a few people, the first time they'd even heard me sing. Didn't even know that I was, in the studio working on anything like that. And then for other people, obviously they were waiting for it. I'd said for months and months, I'm releasing my own music, etc. So I think for my first one, there was a lot more than I even expected. But I think each time, I think it probably could just be a personal thing, but in my opinion, I don't think I'll ever just get used to it. Do you know what I mean? Like, how they, like everybody was sharing it and, commenting and things like this, so you just got used to it. I think I'll always be I'll always appreciate the support no matter what. Do you know what I mean? But I think on Young and Naive, the few people that had heard parts of the song beforehand had said, oh, this is on mine, like, I think this is, and when I released it, I wouldn't say I got as much support as I did on Slow With It, but again, I think that might be because that was my first track, whereas on my second one, people were probably, aware and thinking like, we know who she is now, things like that. But I think regardless, some support still support.
You get more strangers supporting you more than your own people these days.
Yeah.
I've learned that, and this is the question I've got to ask everyone, because it's funny, because it's happened to me, it's happened to a lot of people that I've interviewed, and I speak about this every time to people, but end of the day, you know who your people are. You've got your support there, you know, your family, you know who your circle are. I'm gonna always be there, obviously.
Yeah.
So from day, I think I'm your biggest fan. I'm your biggest fan.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need some autographs. Like, I need some special singles signed.
Yeah, you get them.
Okay, so speaking about something else now. So is there anything else in the future you like to do? So, like, I don't know, acting. Would you want to be in a film one day? Something completely different from what you do now? Have you ever thought about it?
Straight answer, yeah, I would say so. Obviously, there's, you know, other parts I could say about it, but film, yeah, I would say so. That would be something I would be very interested in.
What type of films are you into, by the way? Don't say romantic.
Oh, well, I don't know. I think I'm normally probably up for quite a few different types of films. I don't like horror. Not really.
Yeah, I'm not into horror as well.
That life. But I think, yeah, I think I would probably watch a bit of everything.
See, I love action. I'm not gonna lie, I used to love horror back in the day. Until I watched Paranormal Activity and I didn't sleep for 2 months.
I have seen it's weird, when I was young, like I'm talking like 13 and things.
Yeah.
Like right into the horror films and
That's same with me. That is same with me. It was nothing and I can go bed.
Yeah.
You know?
Not a fan.
Nah. I feel like, because it's more real now. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, when you used to watch it when we were young, you knew it was fake, because a lot of the things, the cameras, you know, the tricks and stuff. But now, it just looks, when you watch a film, it looks so real, like it's happening. And then you're just, as soon as you hit the bed, you're thinking that. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But no, I think it'll be good, because I know a lot of the singers that want to get into the acting scene and stuff as well. And I think, you know, it'll be really good for you to maybe, I don't know, try that. And I know a lot of musicians that do, you know, they get into the film industry and stuff as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So, as I said, it's something to think about, you know, and stuff like that. Any advice you can give to upcoming artists, new artists?
I would probably say it's all right to take things, like, you don't have to constantly be like ready for the next one, you know. Oh, everybody's doing this, everybody's releasing things. When they released this, they did this straight away after, because again, from experience, if you can do that, obviously great, go for it. But after I released Slow With It, obviously your next song would be a month after, 2 months after, and obviously mine was from August to January, because afterwards I think it was such a woof that, like, I was kind of like, whoa, you know what I mean? Like, to be really, before Slow With It had even been released, I should have been in there recording the next one. You know what I mean? So I think just take things at your own pace, and if you're not getting that following, if you're not getting that response that you want straight away, just keep at it. Do you know what I mean? Like, you could be thinking that you want to, you know, impress all of your followers and give them all exactly what they're looking for, but really they're all, let's be honest, every single follower isn't looking for the same thing. So, like, whatever you think might impress people might not be what they think impresses them. Like, I think there's multiple times I might think, oh, you know what, I'm going to upload this photo. Upload the photo, get hardly no response, no. And then other times, my friends might say, oh, I think you should upload this photo. And I'm like, no way. Never let it be seen by anybody. And then end up putting it on, and there's more of a response from that one. So I just think no matter what you think, you're never ever really going to know what the response is going to be. So just, and I'm still learning that. don't get me wrong, I'm not like, you know, totally free of that, but just, yeah, remind yourself that just do what you want to do. But like I say, that's hard, isn't it, really, now, social media and everything.
Strong words of wisdom. No, I really like that, because especially the end bit where you said, which we, I wanted to mention earlier, where people posting stuff and it's the social media pressure. You know what you said, like they're posting stuff and then they're not getting enough likes or engagement, and then they delete it. So example, like yourself, just say someone puts a video of them singing, or someone puts an acting scene up or something, they don't get that engagement that they want, and they'll delete it, and then they just get depressed. Then they'll be like, hold on, this ain't for me. They'll stop singing or acting, and then they're rubbish. They look down on themselves, and that's where the pressure kicks in.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? But I want to tell everyone, like you said, don't delete it. If you put something up, leave it up, because at the end of the day, your real supporters will like it and engage to it and listen to it and stuff. You don't need all these people to, hit like or share it and stuff. Like it's obviously it gives you that buzz, but you're doing this for yourself, and don't rely on people, man, because they'll always let you down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I think sometimes it's so easy as well to like compare and think, well, they uploaded something and they got like 9,000 views. I've got like 300. Clearly I'm doing something wrong. Let's just take that straight down. I just think even little things like that, like I have to fight myself sometimes and say, just leave it up. Do you know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. The right person needs to say it, the right person will say it. Just, yeah.
I like that. Yeah, that's it. Anything else you want to talk about or mention? I think we covered a lot of things, isn't it? Yeah. But I do want to, it's already been half an hour, which is mad, but I want to thank you for obviously coming on. Sharing your advice and your tips and stuff, and obviously we look forward to more banging music from yourself. I was going to ask you one question. Obviously when your single gets released, and I think this is with everyone, it always gets released from 12 a.m, doesn't it, on platforms and stuff? Yeah, because I've noticed obviously you start promoting it from then and stuff. And then which is because I just always find it weird. It's always probably from that date. That's why, innit, from that from the morning and stuff, and I always end up promoting it the next day. But
I think whatever time. I think it's just because if you've got a set date, literally when it strikes that date, it's out there.
It's out there. No, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. No, it's a good thinking. I just feel like a lot of people won't be. I know, obviously, you do it sometimes. A lot of people ain't going to be awake at that time, so they're not really promoting at that time. Hence, even when your stuff comes out, I always do it the next day, because I just know that you're going to get more views and stuff then. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No worries. Okay. Well, thanks for coming. As I said, we definitely look forward to more music from you and stuff. And no worries. And as I said, keep at it, keep positive at these hard times. And as I said, if people want to listen to I'm going to call you El Ray. Do you want to listen to?
Honestly, whatever, it's cool.
Where can people find your music and stuff? Like
everywhere. Spotify, YouTube, Apple, Amazon, pretty much every single streaming platform.
And I'm sure you've got the link in your bio, innit?
Yes.
Yeah, so head over there, just type in El Ray, because I type in El Ray and it comes up.
Yeah.
And
whatever, yeah.
Yeah, and maybe in the future they can start booking you for events.
Let's hope so. Sometime.
Yeah, no, they will. All right, thanks for coming on.